All right, let's hit the field.
All rise.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
It was a beautiful Sunday afternoon in San Diego as the Yankees were taking on the Padres in Game 3 of a weekend set with Memorial Day on the horizon. Clark Schmidt was on the mound trying to continue his hot start to the season. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back, kid.
Looking to boost your sports betting game? Meet Odds Jam, the ultimate ally for data-driven wagering. With 260-plus sports books, it's your go-to platform. Here's how it works. Odds Jam's arbitrage tool spots differences in betting lines, letting you lock in risk-free profits. Plus, optimize bets with a positive EV calculator and track profits with a convenient bet tracker. Try it risk-free with a 7-day trial. Use code RECAPS for 35% off your first month. Link is in the description. Bet smart. Bet responsibly with Odds Jam. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Congrats to the Rangers. Anyway, they picked up an overtime win and are one game closer to the Stanley Cup Finals. They now lead their series against the Panthers 2-1. Not as good of an afternoon for the Yankees.
You watched the game? I mean, didn't it suck? It sucked.
Win streak has been snapped. Snappity snapped. Snap, crackle, pop. As all win streaks eventually are. But you know what? Day off tomorrow, and then you start a series against the Angels. You start a new win streak against the Angels. That's all there is to it. That's how you have to look at it.
Let's see that.
I'll put up the highlights. Hey, quick note. A lot of you have been watching this channel since the very beginning. NYY Recaps grew very fast, and there have been a lot of additions to the show in terms of like highlights from the very beginning. In recent weeks, MLB's automated copyright checker, the AI, has gotten more aggressive, and they demonetized a few of our videos for showing highlights. So, what we're doing is technically fair use, but sometimes when we do the full screen and show the whole game highlights, it demonetizes it. So we're going to kind of alter the way that we show these full game highlights and see how that goes. But at some point, if the AI detection systems improve and the crackdown continues, we might just have to go back to just like the individual player highlights for each game. So we'll see how that shakes out. But tough day for the Yankees. Clark Schmidt was not bad, but the offense didn't help him out much. And defense didn't help him out much either, as you see with Rizzo bobbling the bunt there. Tough day for Victor Gonzalez. He did not have it. Gave up 2 runs and 2/3 of an inning. And then Caleb Ferguson also gave up a run and allowed the Padres to extend their lead. The Yankees got a late home run from Verdugo, which you'll see in just a second, but were unable to capitalize with runners on base. Judge struck out in a crucial situation, got a couple guys on base, but that pitcher that they had in there, Robert Suarez, is absolutely filthy, throwing triple digits. So, hey, it is what it is. You're not going to win them all. Judge actually smoked one off the left field wall in the first inning, but it was hit so hard, 115-mile-an-hour plus off the bat, that he was only able to get a single out of it. Gleyber Torres singled in the second inning and then got picked off of first base. How Baseball Savant continues to refer to him as an above-average base runner is an absolute mystery to me. It's up there with D.B. Cooper and Stonehenge and the Lost Colony at Roanoke. It's a mystery. It doesn't make any sense to me. And he continues to make dumb moves on the base.
He must be the stupidest son of a bitch alive!
Clark Schmidt worked into and out of trouble in the second and third innings. That got his pitch count up. Yankees pitching has been so good that it's almost stunning when someone gets into scoring position or gets to third with less than 2 outs or something. That's how good they've been recently. But Schmidt takes the loss today, despite, I thought throwing the ball pretty well. Top 5, Gleyber Torres doubled over the head of Fernando Tatis in right field, but got stranded. Also, slow-moving game, so I had a Pop-Tart and a cup of coffee. Top 6, Anthony Volpe smoked an opposite field single to extend his hitting streak to 19 games. Longest hitting streak since Robinson Cano for the Yankees in 2012. He also stole second base and then scored on a double by Juan Soto. Juan Soto's 11th double of the year. He continues to have a really nice season. Bottom 6, routine ground ball to Gleyber Torres. He tried to backhand it and just whiffed. 7th error of the season for Gleyber Torres. That's the most of any major league second baseman. And I've been thinking a lot about the trade deadline recently because I'm getting ready to put together all of my trade content that we do every year. And I've been thinking about where the Yankees might want to add. And I think the consensus among most fans is that 1 or 2 more stud relief pitchers would be ideal, right? I mean, you've already got a super rotation. You've got a great lineup. Lineup is good enough to win you the World Series. You're going to hit in the postseason with some of the bats they got this year. Soto, Verdugo, Judge. I think he's going to hit this year. He's on a mission, it looks like. But you want that bullpen that can cut through Betts, Ohtani, and Freeman back to back to back, right? And I'm also thinking it might be time to make a switch at second base. And it might be time to consider moving Gleyber Torres. I'm sure you can still get something for him because there's still some promise in the bat. He's off to a slow start, but he's in a contract year. And you know that somebody would take a gamble on him at least as a DH. But he stinks at second base. He stinks at second base. And I'm ready to see what Oswald Peraza can do with extended playing time over there. You got DJ LeMahieu coming back. He's going to play third base. A lot of people have said, hey, maybe DJ can still play second. I don't think so. I don't think he's got the mobility anymore with those foot issues. But there's no question that Peraza would be a defensive upgrade. And then you'd have elite defense up the middle to go along with all those other great things. Great lineup, great rotation, yada, yada, yada. I think they're going to add to the bullpen. You'd have elite defense up the middle with Peraza at second and Volpe at short. Full stop. Elite. But Gleyber Torres continues to make mistake after mistake, not only in the field, but on the bases. He's not hitting. He had 2 hits today, but he's still hitting .228 with a .628 OPS on the season. And those are not good numbers. And it's May 26th. Memorial Day is tomorrow. And there's this old cliche in baseball. Around Memorial Day, you look at your team and you say, what do I have? Because by then, that's a big enough sample size. You're talking a third of the season plus to understand what kind of year everybody's having. Torres not having a good year. Not responding well to the pressure of a contract season, either on offense or on defense. The focus seems to have lapsed a number of times. He's never been, a super intelligent ball player. Never had a high baseball IQ. But it's rearing its ugly head way too much this year. So I think it's time. I think you need to consider trading Gleyber Torres. So Clark Schmidt was done after 5 innings. He left a couple of runners on base in the top of the 6th. Victor Gonzalez came in to pitch, and he had nothing. He allowed both of the runs to score, failed to cover first base on what should have been or could have been a 3-6-1 double play. Another run scored on a bunt and an error. Tough play over there by Anthony Rizzo. He's had his defensive troubles this year too, but that one, obviously he's in a rush. I don't think that's, I think anybody could have made that mistake, dropping that bunt there. So Clark Schmidt, let's take a look at his numbers on the year. Today he went 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Pretty typical Clark Schmidt outing. He's had some recent games that he's pitched deeper into the ball game, but most of the time it's going to be about 5 innings or so. And on the season, he's made 11 starts. He's 5-3. He's got a 2.52 ERA, 60 2/3 innings pitched. He's got 67 strikeouts and 20 walks, so pretty good command, more than a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. I'll be intrigued to know what role he's going to have in the postseason. And a lot of that's going to depend on how he finishes this season. But would he be in your rotation or would he pitch out of the bullpen? Tell me what you guys think, because right now, if you're going 4 starters, I'm going Garrett Cole, I'm going Luis Gil, assuming he's stretched out. I'm assuming they're going to shut down Gil or move him to the bullpen for a period and then use him as a starter in the playoffs. That's what I'm thinking. And then Rodon makes my rotation. And Stroman makes my rotation. And the reason I go with Stroman over Schmidt or over Cortez, even though statistically those guys are probably better, and metrically they're certainly better, is because he keeps the ball in the ballpark. And in the playoffs, I don't want home runs deciding the game. I want ground balls. And then I would have Schmidt and Nestor probably be available out of the bullpen in a playoff series. That's how I would do it. And don't forget, in the playoffs, you don't have that stupid Manfred extra runner rule. So you need somebody who in extra innings can throw 3 or 4 innings. So you're going to need 1 or 2 of these guys who are stretched out to be available for that. So, that's just something to consider as we move forward here. But nice job by Clarke Schmidt. Bullpen did not have it today, especially Victor Gonzalez. Ferguson, bad as always. The Yankees put 2 runners on in the 8th inning, but Robert Suarez struck out Aaron Judge to end the threat. Verdugo homered in the 9th, but it was not enough, and the Yankees lose.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the box score from this one. Volpe, one of the highlights, he extended his hitting streak to 19 games. So he is swinging the bat very well. And I don't even think he's been red hot over this stretch. Like, he's been okay. He's been consistent, but he's been like a vitamin, 1 a day. Couple of 2-hit games mixed in there, but hitting 282, he's settled in as like a 280 hitter right now. I still think there's a hot streak in there, and that could be coming soon. Soto, 1 for 3 with the double and a walk. Judge, 1 for 4. Just missed a home run, just missed a double. Hit it too hard. 115 off the bat. Second hardest hit he's had this year. Verdugo with the opposite field home run. Stanton 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. They call that the Golden Sombrero. Rizzo 1 for 4. Torres 2 for 4 hitting 228. Trevino 1 for 4 hitting 283. And Cabrera 0 for 3 down to 247, 646 OPS. He's done a nice job. Like, he's been a nice little replacement player. Let's see what DJ's got. I think there are still places that this team can add. I think you can upgrade at second base internally by calling up Oswald Peraza. I think Oswald Peraza going to hit better than 228. I really do. I think he's at worst a 250 hitter. At worst, with a little bit of power. Not as much power probably as Gleyber Torres, but a little bit of power and much better defense and much better base run. Much better base runner. Much faster, too. And quite frankly, he seems like a heads-up ball player. So right there, I think that's a place you can upgrade without having to make a trade other than trading somebody away. Third base, sounds like DJ is going to come back, but if DJ doesn't hit, third base is an option. You know, there's guys you can look out there and you know, make a play for, but you really want somebody who can handle the glove and maybe hit for a little bit of power and is not signed long-term. Birdie, who knows how long he's going to be out with the calf injury, but he's been injured twice already this year. I don't think we can count on him. So, you know, I'm looking at maybe second base, maybe third base as places the Yankees are going to make changes to the main everyday roster. And then the pitching, you know, obviously you're getting Garrett Cole back, and that's going to, you know, create that situation of who goes to the bullpen. And, you know, from what Ken Rosenthal said the other day, what Max Goodman said, I tend to believe that the way they're going to do it is they're going to back off of Luis Gil for a bit. And by this time, they'll have, you know, 5 or 6 more starts, right? They're going to back off of him. And they might even move somebody else to the bullpen or to the IL for a phantom couple of weeks first. But eventually, at some point this season, mid-season, they're going to slow down how much they're using Luis Gil. They're going to give his arm a break. And I think that's going to involve going to the bullpen and pitching maybe, you know, a couple of times a week for an inning, right? So maybe in August, he throws 8 to 10 innings instead of, you know, the 30 he would throw as a starting pitcher, 25 to 30, right? So you reduce his workload, and then maybe halfway through September, when he's thrown about the same amount, you know, maybe 5 or 10 innings in September, then you give him like a 2 or 3 inning outing, and then you give him another 4 inning outing before the playoffs, and then he's ready to give you 5 in the playoffs, and you've got somebody else there to back him up. And if he goes further, great. But I want Luis Gil starting in the playoffs because right now there's, like, look how many aces he's already outdueled. Corbin Burns, Luis Castillo. The guy is not afraid. The guy gets better when he's pitching up against, a frontline starter for the other side. So I want that. I want that in the playoffs. But, I've seen a lot of people say 6-man rotation. I don't think it's realistic because that thins out your bullpen, right? And I want Garrett Cole to stay on the 5-man rotation anyway. That's when he's at his best. And I think Luis Gil would be at his best too because he's the same type of pitcher. Power pitchers tend to do better on the regular rest and tend to be a little bit too strong when they have extra rest. So that's just kind of how I feel about it. All right, let's take a few more comments.
I gotta get out of here.
Bobes says he likes Ryan McMahon from the Rockies.
You gotta go.
As a third baseman. What's he doing this year? I know there was some talk about him last year. So he's got some good numbers, guys.
Game over, man. Game over.
That might be one to consider. Ryan McMahon, left-handed hitter. He is hitting .293, 9 home runs. Now, some of that's Coors, but a 137 OPS plus. But having a very good season. And he is 29 years old. Last year, he hit .240 with 23 home runs, 70 ribbies. So, good solid left-handed bat at the bottom of the order. I don't know what he does defensively. I've never really seen him play that much, but let's take a look at Baseball Savant and see how McMahon, because you might be onto something. That does seem like the type of guy the Yankees would pick up. I'm reading that book that I told you guys about, The Yankee Way, and they talk a lot about how they have player profiles, and they value certain tools at certain positions. So I want to see what McMahon... Oh, my goodness. Get this guy. Get this fucking guy. Batting run value in the 91st percentile. Everything is in the red. Sprays the ball all over the ballpark. Good walk percentage. Yeah, he's not going to be cheap. But, he's 29 years old, so he's got to be nearing free agency. I don't think the Rockies are going to lock him up. Let's see. I don't see anything about his contract, but maybe somebody can look up his contract in the chat. But, yeah, we're going to start doing some trade stuff here pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to call it a night. Yankees got the day off tomorrow, but call into the voicemail. We're going to do a voicemail show if we have enough call-ins. Maybe suggest some trades or whatever. Maybe we'll do something like that. But I'm getting ready to go hang out with one of my buddies and, drown a few whiskeys here. And I'll see you next time.